Hello you and welcome to today's video. I decided that I needed to swatch some ocean nail art, water effects, pool effects, and I just thought why not go ahead and create a video for those of you who are new like me to nail art and want an easy guide to some popular techniques. I am not recreating the wheel here. These techniques have been around for years, but I personally could not find a video that shows me how to do them all without fail. So as you've already seen, the blooming gel is super easy and straightforward, and you can get consistent sales every time. This second nail I am doing the double method. So a white base color and cure, then a layer of blooming gel, do not cure, add your dots of color like you see me doing here. And I'm doing this in real time in the beginning, that way you can see how slow I was going. I'm not quick at all. Then cure for 30 to 60 seconds. Mix 1 part white and 1 part blooming gel and paint the nail. Do not cure and add your second layer of color. Be sure to use a jelly gel transparent color. If you do not own any, you can make your own by mixing the blue with top coat, and it makes a really cool effect that you'll see in a second. I kept seeing this video of someone doing this double layer method and not explaining. Comments kept asking how she did it and there was zero response. I don't know if gatekeeping is still a thing or she assumed everyone knows it already, but that's not my style, so here you go. So I just played around until I figured it out, and I'm absolutely thrilled that I did. For this next one, I am still experimenting. I'm using blooming gel in the beginning like you've seen me do twice. I'm just adding my first layer of dots here. Then I'm going to cure it completely for 60 seconds. Next, I'm going to add a jelly blue color, and this time I'm going to use a clear top coat as the second layer instead of the blooming gel. As an artist, I like to play around with my mediums and methods because it's fun and so cool to see what happens as an end result. And I gotta tell you guys, the end result of this one is so absolutely stunning and beautiful. I don't know what I'm gonna use it for, whether it'll be ocean nails or not, but it almost looks like swirls in fine china. It's absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. The longer I let it sit, the pattern just sweeps against the ocean floor. So pretty. Lastly, let's mix 1 part white with 1 part blooming gel and use a regular size dotting tool that most of us have to see if there's much of a difference. So far, I've been using kind of like a larger size dotting tool because I like my cells to look pretty big. But this is the dotting tool that you'll get in most of every kit. And from what I can see initially, the only difference in doing it this way, with mixing the white and blooming gel together, is that it's a little bit more transparent. The white, it doesn't jump out at you as much as it would as if you add the white first and then the blooming gel. All right, let's move on to magnets. This first method, I am using a random magnet and creating the pattern myself. Doing it this way, you will need at least 2 layers in my opinion. As you probably notice, I have a timer running. Doing it this way will take some time for sure because you're doing everything manually, but it turns out beautifully regardless. So as you can see, I already have moved around the magnets to create kind of that star effect in the background. Then I added more cat eye gel, and now I'm just moving the pearls around until I get a second pattern on top of the first one that, simulates water. I'm 6 minutes into this nail, taking into consideration that there's multiple layers, curing time, me fussing with the camera, and lastly, the actual nail art. All in all, it makes a beautiful, majestic water effect that anybody would love. Next up, let's say you have these small, round, loose magnets that you can add to a wand. You will see that this eliminates all the fuss and you will have your pattern in literally no time at all. It comes out a little cleaner and clearer, and I'm not gonna lie, huge time saver. Next, I ordered these magnet balls that we see everywhere for water effects. I ain't gonna lie, I was a bit disappointed in the amount of, magnets you get for the price, but that's neither here or there. Let's see how easy this is and what patterns you can expect. And just like that, I'm done. The cells are a little tighter, meaning it makes for busier looking water than the wand method. It's just as pretty, so it just comes down to preference and what your goals are for the nail art. Very cool. For this next design, I'm laying down my color and curing, adding my cat eye gel, and using my flat round magnets on my wand to create the water swirls. Then I'm going to overlay with solid builder gel, making sure it's clear solid builder gel. The key to this 3D method is to fully cover the nail tip and being sure to not lose the shape of the nail. So as you can see, kind of like I have it kind of like bulkier in the middle of the nail, and then I'm sort of dragging the builder gel towards the edge of the nail and smoothing it out. This is to make sure that I don't lose the shape. So this is another one that will take you some time, obviously. I'm looking at my timer back there and I'm already at 5 minutes and a half. Then you just want to go ahead and put dents inside of the builder gel to create another water effect on top. Then you're going to go ahead and take your clear top coat and finish it off with whatever embellishments. And there you go. You have your water effect, but instead of it just being flat, it's 3D. The only thing about this, as you can see, again, I'm almost at 9 minutes. I still have to go back in and, clean up the, outer parts of the nail, which will take you some time. Next is the most popular and messiest method in my humble opinion, the clear top coat method. I have seen people do this and there is a love-hate relationship for sure. People hate the messiness but love the results when they happen to get it right. So I'm not speeding this up. I'm showing you after about 10 errors what works consistently every time when mixing and keeping it on the nail without it oozing off the nail. So basically it's like 3 dots of white to 1 brush dot of clear top coat. This is the consistency that I find works best. Then I will apply it to the nail. Now, if you have a milky translucent white that you love, one that's already mixed, by all means use that. But if you don't, feel free to try it out this way. Now with my standard size dotting tool, I take a bead and I lay it down on the nail, being sure not to touch the nail tip, or it may leave an annoying dot or mark behind in the middle of your top coat cell. You don't need to be nervous or move too quickly, just take your time and do it right the first time, or you've just wasted your time and your product. When you're done applying your cells, simply flip the nail over to keep all the product on the nail, to keep the shape of the nail intact, and you're done. Complete success. Then cure. Look at that. You will get this result every single time as long as you keep your formula the same. Next, let's freehand. I have not seen anyone do it this way, but again, it doesn't mean that it hasn't been. I'm laying my color down, using top coat over my glitter gel so it's a smooth surface, and I'm using Q-tips, alcohol, and a makeup sponge as my tools. I'm taking a makeup sponge and dabbing the white, or in this case, I use a light blue. Then I'm taking rubbing alcohol with the Q-tips to remove the color in the shape of the water cells that I want. And in no time at all, I'm done. I get exactly what I want with zero fussiness and without things oozing all over the place. The only reason my timer is at 6 minutes is because I have 2 layers of glitter gel with 60 seconds of cure time in between. Then the top coat that I added, to smooth everything out, and then I cured that before I got to the art. This method is quick and easy. Now I'm just showing you a few ways to zhuzh it up if you want. There is no wrong way to really do water. Water, I mean, it's forever moving around, it's forever rippling and doing its thing. So just have fun with it. Now for this next method, I'm going to pretend as if maybe you have some alcohol inks uh, in your kit. I did not, and I didn't feel like ordering any, so I just pretty much improvised and made some of my own. So basically, I took a white pearlescent pigment powder, and I have a side of rubbing alcohol 91% over to the side, and I'm just playing around with it, and you can see just how absolutely gorgeous this is freehanding it this way. I mean, look at that. It looks like waves coming in. I'm doing it again. This time, instead of adding the globs first, I'm just going in with some simple lines, and then I'm just like, kind of like pulling back, pulling back from the lines with the alcohol. Then I'm gonna add, just for fun, some green instead of going in with blue. Then I'll go ahead and cure that. And then I'll go back over it with more of my white pearl pigment powder with alcohol. And again, it's just absolutely beautiful, absolutely stunning. It's just, what do you want your water to look like? What kind of effect are you trying to make? And there you have it. Just stunning. Next, let's use a stamping silicone tool to apply our water ripples and effects. This method is a little tricky, but I figured out the best way without buying special gels. Depending on the size of the nails, separate your white blotches on the silicone tool. In this case, I did 4 patches. Only cure for 3 seconds, not a second longer. Then apply. This way your gel doesn't get too stiff, and with smaller pieces of white, it's less mess and overhang to cut off later. Less cleanup means a faster process and less frustration. I'm going to double stamp this so I have depth to my art. So I'm going to use a jelly color blue, not opaque. Then I'm just going to go ahead and repeat the process. Once you have the look you want, go ahead and top coat, clean up the edges, and you're done. I love the look of this method. It looks like crashing waves, looks very chaotic, like it's like the water is just hitting against rocks or something. This is very, very pretty. Now let's go ahead and explore some finishing touches that you can put to all of your water effects, especially with ocean nails. First, add your sand color. I'm only going down half the nail because on some of these I will be using jelly blue colors and I don't want that brown to be showing through. And just drag it down, kind of like an ombre, let it fade out. Now we're going to do a water marbling effect. This one's really easy. Just grab 3 or 4 colors, line them up in no specific, way. And then all you're going to do is take your brush and scoop up the color and just lay it on top of the nail. Now I know I'm a little bit out of focus, but you can see what I'm doing. I'm just scooping up the color and then I'm just laying it on the nail and letting it do its own thing. And as you can see, it just creates a beautiful pattern. I am going to go ahead and do this again, and it's not going to be out of focus. I really love how I added the green. Like, you guys, you don't have to just stick with regular dark blue, light blue. You can add some other colors in there because all of those colors are in the ocean. And just like that, look how quick that was. You're done. Now let's add our finishing touches with the waves crashing against the shore. All I'm going to do is take a sponge, pick up a little bit of my white color, and dab. It's that simple. Once you feel like, oh, that looks really cool, really pretty, go ahead and cure it for a couple of seconds. If you feel that it needs more, this will allow you to pick up more color, just like I'm doing right now, and adding that to the nail without smearing what you already did. And you know, this just adds more interest to your artwork. And you just keep doing this until you get the look that you want. It's really simple, a no-brainer, no muss, no fuss. The next way to do this is just to take a paintbrush, and you're going to swipe instead of dabbing. Um, this looks like, you know, the water is receding back into the ocean, and you're done. I'm going to do this on this nail as well. These are This last nail, I think I used blooming gel. I really enjoy the blooming gel, but I'm just adding that sweeping motion to this one just so you can see what it looks like on two different nails. Really simple, really easy to do. Just cure really quickly. That way the gel doesn't, you know, spread and you lose those crisp lines. This next method I used on my previous video when I did my 3D shark nails. Basically, you're just going to add your white gel, and then you're going to take some soap bubbles. Basically, just take a water bottle, add some dishwasher soap, some water, make yourself some suds, put it directly over that white gel color, and then you're going to pop it in your UV LED lamp for about 60 seconds. Do not move anything around, just let it sit. And then you just take a brush and swipe it off, and it makes this really cool water sudsy effect that you can use for your shoreline. And it's so much fun. It's so cool. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching. This is pretty much the end of it. This is my swatching board. The first two, you know, number 1 and 2, I just added the blooming gel over a layer of white. I had a pretty large size dotting tool. The third one, that was my double layer that you saw me do. I also did it again, this time without blue. I just used clear, and you can see it makes it kind of like fuzzy looking. And then the last one, I just, you know, just did it extra. These are the magnet cat eye ones. The first one that you see, I freehanded. The second one, I used the wand. The third one, I used the little balls. The fourth one, I did the, what do you call it? I did the clear builder gel. And the fifth one you didn't see me do. I did it off camera. It's more builder gel, but this time I decided to encapsulate a little anchor. Here's the top coat method. All the ones in the middle were some of the tries that I did before getting to the one you actually saw me do, which is the first one. And then of course we have the last one where I was just playing around with different methods and making that deep blue ocean nail that came out really, really pretty. These are the free hands. Most of them you saw me do. You just didn't see me do the first one. That was me playing around, but these are the finishing touches. This is the first two are me using that stamping silicone tool. You didn't see me stamp the one I'm pointing at right now, but you saw me stamp the first one. And I just wanted to finish this video with showing you guys how to complete your looks with, you know, the water going up against the shoreline. I didn't think it would be a complete video without that. So without further ado, I hope you guys have a blessed rest of your day. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe if you're feeling it, and hopefully I get to see you guys on the next one. Take care.